Hey, y'all, What If is putting on another live show, and guess what? We want you there.
You said, hey, y'all, like there's people in this room with us, but there's not.
No, but there's people out there.
Well, they're watching, but how about we do a show with people in the room with us, too?
The room where it happens.
Oh.
Live. We will have a very special guest at the world-famous Laugh Factory in Hollywood, May 21st.
So go to thelaughfactory.com for tickets or our social media pages.
We'll see you there.
This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey, everybody. I'm Wayne Brady.
I'm Jonathan Mangum.
And welcome to What If. This is the show where we invite a guest from the world of comedy, from the world of literature, from the world of science, any world. It just has to be someone who we think is absolutely amazing. And we sit them down and we ask them, what if? And we just have a conversation.
The following program has been rated CI, completely improvised. Parental discretion is advised, as well as parental suggestions. Everything's made up, including the songs by Branson.
Now, see, would you write that? No.
No one would ever write that.
Improvised.
Can you turn my headphones down a little bit? Because I can hear everybody.
That
I'd like to bring that down a little.
That person happens to be the one, the only, one of the stars, the OG stars of Whose Line Is It Anyway? A fixture of the stand-up circuit for what seems like, I would say that you've been in this for 30-odd years now.
Oh, 60, yeah.
60, because he...
right after the Korean War. Or conflict, as we know that.
He is the comedic Dorian Gray.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Greg Proops.
Hello, everybody. Hello, America.
Mr. Greg.
Hi, Wayne. Hi, John.
Hey, buddy.
It's so good
Hi,
to
buddies.
see you, man.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks for joining us in our little podcast.
I know, we never get to hang out. I guess it takes a podcast to bring people together in this day and age.
It does. Mwah. Shout out.
Right?
Shout out.
Who are you
Yeah.
shouting out to exactly?
I don't know who he was.
Shout out.
But usually you have a shout out to shout out
That's
to.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Shout out.
Wow.
what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank God, right?
Shout out to
Yeah,
God.
yeah. Thank the Lord. Yeah.
The
Big
Lord.
shout out.
Deep.
Podcasts are good all the time. You know what I'm saying?
All the time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
You were telling me, and I didn't know this until like a month ago when we were doing a show together. You were on the second episode of Whose Line ever. Like that was your first time on Whose Line, right?
Well, there was a season on radio, and then there was another season, and then I got on the second season of Whose Line. I think it was the second one that shot in England, 1989.
Wow.
And then they did a Christmas one that year, which was hilarious because there were 6 of us, and it was a complete. Can we swear on your
Yes,
show?
of course.
It was a complete clusterfuck, and they never did it again, which was great. Which also proves my old adage, which is like the book Clockwork Orange. You really can't have a gang that won't fit in a car. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if your gang's bigger than fits in a car. And I feel the same way about an improv group. We used to go out with Drew Carey to Vegas, all 3 of us. And sometimes there'd be 10, 12 of us in the group. And it was like watching the Preakness. You're like, who do I bet on in this? Who wins this fucking thing? There's so many.
Nobody
of you.
wins.
No.
When there are that many people on stage, and you're trying to yes and, but it's just too much.
Yeah. 1 to 4. And 5 if it's crazy, 6 if you got guest stars. But I mean, after that, it's like, wow, that's too many people.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember on Comedy Central, and this is what I love to tell people when we talk about Whose Line, that rarely do you get a chance in show business. People follow their dreams all the time, but I didn't even know that Whose Line could even be a dream, because when I saw the show, I always said to myself, there's no way in hell that myself or anyone that I know could possibly do that show, to get on camera and you're making stuff up. How? It's a magic trick. You're all witches and warlocks,
Right.
and we'll never be good enough. So to then one day we get a chance to work with you for years. That was just the coolest thing ever.
Well, I remember your first episode because they put me and Wayne in the same dressing room. Hello, show business. What? The 2 of us in
yeah.
one dressing room, and we spent the whole day talking about people we knew. Mind you, I'd known you guys from the Honkies before.
Oh, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yep, that's
we used
right.
to sit in with you when there was a place on La Brea.
Just so the folks at home know, it's called the House Full of Honkies. That's the group that Jonathan and I were from.
Yeah, from like 95 to 2005.
Can I bring up something since you were talking about House Full of Honkies?
Yeah.
I was in a group called Fault Line in San Francisco. Yeah, you get it? See what we did?
Oh,
And Mike McShane was in that group, and Mike McShane and I both ended up on Whose Line. But Whose Line has fantastically hardly any groundlings or any of those prepared groups. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all the groups that you pay money into and they make you go week after week a week. I feel like Whose Line's a little more indie than that. Like we didn't. I mean, there's a couple people who are in the. Ryan and Colin were in Second City Toronto.
Yeah.
But they never really did anything with Colin in Second City Toronto. He was not the big star there. He wasn't a big star till he got on our show where he could show that how great he was. You know
Which
what I mean?
you wouldn't know that because if you do go to Toronto,
Oh, his pictures
his
everywhere.
pictures
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, of course. But that's what I'm talking about. These groups are like, and I'm not, hey, do what you do. But I'm saying like, they make you pay money to be in them.
Yeah.
And then you got to make it to the main stage show and shit. But I found like, I was in my own group. Like we started our own group, like
Absolutely.
you guys did.
Yeah.
So therefore, you get stage time, and you ain't got to pay nobody.
Yeah.
And hey, guess what? We were as good as the people who went to the school.
Yeah, and they just go on to like other small shows like SNL, but
We've stayed on the same
CW.
obscure show for 30 plus years,
Yay,
and that's what makes us
CW.
awesome.
Yay, CW.
Are they still a show?
It's still a show.
Or as people always say to me, what channel is it?
Which it's hilarious.
What channel
you
is
have-
that on?
That when folks go, I used to love that show. It's like, well, you can still love it.
Yeah.
You can still love it. Nothing's changing that. You can still turn on your TV and see that right now.
I get that. I'm sure you guys do too. I was at Papoose Hot Dog Emporium, which is no longer there.
yeah,
Turned into
on
an umami
Riverside.
burger.
Now it was umami, and now it's a veggie grill. I
Wait a
think.
minute. Go back.
Papoose.
What was the name?
Hot
Papoose
Dog
Hot Dog Show.
Show? That's right. Papoose Hot Dog Show.
That sounds dirty
There was a
as
hot
hell.
dog going like this
Yep.
on the billboard outside or whatever the marquee, and it was across the street from Bob's Big Boy ish catty corner.
That's
as
my
mother
neighborhood.
would
I live
say.
over there.
Right.
So, yeah, I love
So you know what I'm talking about. Papoose Hot Dog Show. So I was in there eating a papu one day, and the woman goes, I used to love Whose Line. Don't you miss it? And I go, well, I'm on the road with all the guys 100 days a year, and I work with everybody else too, and I work with the English cast as well a couple times a year. So no, I don't miss it, and I can't shake these fuckers.
What I love about that is she's like, don't you miss it?
Yeah.
Don't you broken
They're
man.
all misty.
You
They're all-
broken man.
Yeah, they're
eating
misty about it.
Your hot dog.
Yeah.
You and your friends.
I miss my friends while I eat my hot dog. And Papoose Hot Dog Show. I ordered a bowl of disappointment in my career.
Wow.
Yeah. I was served a Vienna sausage of
Shame.
yes.
Yeah, that was the
Vienna
shortest, saddest jazz song I've ever heard. But speaking of songs, every one of our guests gets their own theme song.
Everyone.
Oh, okay, great.
We give you your own theme song. So we like to base the theme song not on your accolades and your career because we'll talk about that or people already know it. We want to give you a theme song based on something that no one would ever know about you.
Okay.
What's something that you normally don't talk about or just an interest that you have that we may not be aware?
I'm an expert on Negro Leagues baseball.
Really?
And I have hosted the Negro Leagues Hall of Game award ceremony 4 or 5 times in Kansas City where the museum is.
I knew that.
Yeah, no, we don't have to talk about sports, but that's something that people wouldn't know about me and something I'm inordinately proud of because it's a very moving experience. All the ball players, and I mean to a person, Ozzie Smith, Eddie Murray, blah, 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 all talk about Jackie Robinson and how important Jackie Robinson was for their life. And people think of the Negro Leagues as some sort of archaic bullshit. Willie Mays passed away last year, right? Willie Mays was in the Negro Leagues. So this is not something that happened a million years ago. And segregation and Jim Crow, a little bit pertinent for the day. And probably not as funny as it might be. But as you understand, like what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Come on,
We're not
Greg.
talking just about Hitler in 1938. We're talking about Jim Crow 1964. You know what I mean?
That's what I try to impress upon people that I'm 52.
Yeah.
So when I talk to my daughter or when I speak sometimes to folks and we have fun and we laugh, but then I end some of our shows by saying it's not lost on me the fact that I can be this person that you let into your homes every single day and some people are like, oh, Wayne really love you, da-da-da. At 52, outside of my lifetime, actually at 60, anyone 60 and above, they didn't have rights. Like Not like now when you get stopped by the cops sometime and you still don't have rights. On paper, we have rights. They didn't have the rights on paper.
Nope.
That's why it's so deep. That's why it's so real. So when someone comes with their bullshit about, racism doesn't exist, no, outside of my lifetime, my grandparents could have been thrown in jail or killed. My dad could. So I completely get why when you say the Negro Leagues and its impact, I appreciate you for that so much. Thank you. So I think we have a theme song. So
A funny theme song about racism.
no, it's not about racism. You know
What's not funny about racism?
I think
That's the great play.
I think if anything, racism is funny.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid.
Yes, yes.
So we can give Greg's theme song and involves something about racism being stupid, and then we can put in the Negro Leagues.
Baseball.
And let's just see where it comes from.
Got it.
This is about Greg Proops. This is his theme song, and it's what if Greg Proops. Wait, did I say that right?
What if our next guest
was Greg Proops? That's it. You know what's funny? Racism. You know what isn't? Racism. You know who's funny? Greg Proops. You know what's funnier?
Nobody.
Exactly when I tell you, this dude sitting right here.
Yeah.
If I can nominate him right now, I'd make him the man of the year. I watched him on TV, on Comedy Central. And little did I know one day I'd be his pal. He was like, he fights racism on the daily. These words, they would never fail me. So smart. How does he do what he do? Damn, because of his IQ?
Can't believe he's here. Would you look at that love in his heart, no cork in his bat. He knows the truth, he knows the fun. Nobody better than Jackie Robinson.
Hey, age to age, here's a reference, Satchel Paige. When it came to baseball, he's a mage. And Jackie Robinson on the stage.
He's always right, never says anything wrong. This beat's pretty white for a black song.
That's what I'm saying, yes, son. But look who's playing it, it's grandson. Oh, how do you feel when you look out, there's black on the field? And you know who's real? It's Greg Proops, and he's bringing the deal.
I can see him, and he can see me. Look out, got the best hair on TV. It's Greg Proops.
The Bingos traveling all-stars.
James Earl had a Jones that time.
Come Richard Pryor.
Gonna be setting on fire.
And, oh, crap, I can visualize
Billy
the
D.
cast.
Williams.
Yes. And that's Greg Proops.
Wow.
I was trying to think of the whole cast, like it just hit me. James Earl Jones, Billy D. Williams, Richard Pryor.
Oh, it had a hella cast.
Yeah, there's another gentleman that I follow on Instagram. I forget his name. What I'm talking about, people at home, the Bingo, what was it, Bingo?
It was called Bingo Long's Traveling All-Stars and something. It was a long-ass title.
Yes, and that basically was a story of the Negro League, and I didn't know that when I was a kid. I just thought it was a cool movie.
Right.
What's it called again?
Bingo Long's Traveling All-Stars. It's like a real broad look at the Negro Leagues, you know. James Earl Jones is smoking a cigar when he's at bat and stuff like that, you know. But I mean, it's a little clowny, you know.
Yeah.
But the essence of it's true. And Richard Pryor, hilariously, is in the movie trying to pass himself off as an American Indian so he can play in the big leagues.
no.
And he's doing that through the whole movie.
No, but it is brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's a sequel. It's Bingo Long's Traveling All-Stars at the Papoose Hot Dog Show.
Yes.
It's really a
And
great.
don't you miss that?
It's so good.
Oh my
so
God, John,
good.
you must miss that so much. You must miss the work so much.
Oh, you must miss it. No,
I
miss
do.
that.
I do.
Well, you know, there was a movie with Delroy Lindo where he played Satchel Paige, and I always wanted to make a movie in the 90s because they're older now. Hey, I always thought if you'd done one in the 90s, you could have had all the great black actors. I mean, there's still a million great. You could
Could
still
have
do
had all
one.
of those guys.
But then when they were in their 30s and they could have still looked like ball players. Now I don't want to see Denzel out there pretending to play ball, but I mean, they do one every few years, you know, because it's a wild story.
Yeah.
We're talking, I mean, the thing that I always get about going there that Bob Kendrick always reemphasizes is it's a story of segregation, but it's a story of triumph. because the black community had their own banks, their own barbershops, their own everything, music scene. And within that, they were able to have their own baseball league because they were refused entrance to the other baseball league. And out of that league came, I don't know, Henry Aaron, Ernie Banks, Willie Mays, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So,
and the same thing happened with,
show business.
It happened with show business, basketball, the whole nine. And that conversation is pertinent. We won't sit on it, but it's pertinent to everything that's happening in the world. What I think is such an odd way of looking at things, and it even overlaps into comedy. When one group looks at another group, like let's say the conversation that is had sometimes around a month like Black History Month, and some genius goes, how would you like it if I had a month that was all white month? Before they ask that question, they don't think that, you already do. And these things...
It's April.
Right, it's April, so shout out
and
to
May and June and July.
The all white month of April. That if things were set up in a way where that there wouldn't be a need for anything like that. There wouldn't have been a need for the Negro League if someone would have said, please just come and play this silly sport with us. Just, hey, here's a bat. Let's have fun. That there wouldn't have been a need for an all-black basketball league at one point. There wouldn't have been a need for any of these things that are othered if everyone could play on the same playing field. So it's interesting, even in the world of comedy, in things like improv and sketch, for the longest time, improv was something that was not thought of that black actors did or black people did, or it's weird. So racism is stupid.
It is stupid.
It is really stupid because there's no logical ground for it. And I think that's why white people are so attracted to it, because facts and reality is not something white people really enjoy and or understand. They really like to live in a fantasy world.
Hey, speak for myself.
I will.
Now, I'm not going to paint with that big brush.
I am. But let's just talk about some of my family. You're from the South, John.
Yeah, Mobile,
my
Alabama.
family's from the South. And
Where?
it's like Mississippi.
Ooh.
Yeah, people go, and then people go, God, Greg, I didn't know your family was from Mississippi. You're erudite and act gay. And so it's like, people's preconceptions about everything. And also, I'm really not down with that whole, liberals will say shit like, hey, well, fuck the South, man, and fuck all those states, because they're just rednecks. And it's like, hello. First of all, the black population of America lives there still a lot. And two, there's beautiful people everywhere.
Absolutely.
I really don't play that, you need to boycott Alabama. I'm playing Alabama in a week's time, and I'm happy to go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that at all. I don't get you should never talk to them again. Well, how about going there and dealing?
Yeah.
That's the way, especially being able to do what you do.
Right. We're just clowns,
Art and funny and bringing a positive message, giving. And it's not to say that you can't talk about the real things. I call it, you give a little bit of medicine with the sugar. And so that's kind of how I've lived my entire career. It's I will get in the door. I'll get in the door and I'll do what I do, and I'll make you come to me. And Jonathan is proof positive. You've seen, we've played some places where if I weren't Wayne, the guy that some of those people paid to see, I'd probably be treated differently. And sometimes they let it show, even during the show, that they're so comfortable. We love you, Wayne. And they'll say some ignorant shit or something that is so racist that I have to stop the show and single that person out and go, what were you thinking? I was just laughing. But it's all love, as long as we keep spreading that love.
And moving forward. Attempting to move forward.
Well, I asked, Will Durst is a friend of mine, and he's a San Francisco comic, and he didn't want to be my mentor, but he was, and he didn't know I was mentoring off of him. And anyway, he only did politics, right? And a liberal Democrat from Milwaukee, right? So and my whole outlook is Bay Area liberal, right? So I said to him once, do you really think comedy can change, blah, 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 that stupid question that people always ask. And he said, no, it can't, but it can make people think. And that's all you're trying to do. Like, you're not going to change anyone's mind with a joke, but they might go home and go, man, I didn't think of that. Because people say it to you, I'm sure, all the time, and they do to me. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Like I was in Louisville a couple years ago, or Louisville, if you will, as they say it. Louisville. They have a really wild way. Yeah, like people in Toronto say Toronto, but people in Louisville say Louisville. The woman, I was in a store, and a nice white lady. And by the way, I know lots of nice white ladies, and my whole family's full of them.
Shout out.
Shout out to white ladies.
All white ladies.
And she goes, where are you from? And I said, San Francisco. And she goes, oh, San Francisco's so full of homeless and blah, blah, blah. And I said, have you considered that the giant corporations that run everything might actually give more money to the homeless? And that I just sort of spun around on it and before I left, she went, I never thought of it that way before. She thought of homeless as like this enemy, you know, the way they're demonized because of their poverty. What's the line in Time Bandits from you remember the Time Bandits movie from the 80s? John Cleese plays Robin Hood, and he goes, oh, you're going to love the poor. They haven't got 2 cents to rub together. Like she was thinking of the poor like they're demons running around trying to suck on society. And I was like, maybe they need help. But I didn't like spell it out like pedantically. I just kind of threw some, and she really did go, I never thought of it that way before. And I thought, minor victory.
Yeah.
She's going to get her ass kicked when she goes home.
And
but
that's what you need sometimes, though,
Yes!
is just drop that little pebble in the water and let people come to it.
right.
And
I think people want to be good, but the preconditioning is really hard on people that they get everywhere they live. And the lack of information and the amount of misinformation now really makes people forget how to think laterally or in any other way other than the nonsense they've been taught.
And it puts them in a fear state as well.
Yeah. Right. And so when you're in a fear state, that you can't learn anything.
No, because you're scared, so everything bounces off of. And then when you become fearful, then you're ready to fight. And when you're ready to fight, the last person that you want to talk to is the perceived enemy, whether it's the homeless, whether it's another race, whether it's
gay people,
big pharma, there's
yeah.
gay people, there's this. So that's why it all comes back to, at the end of the day, if we get a chance to spread a little light and to drop a little knowledge sometimes and to make people think, that's the best that we can do.
I'm so happy we solved it today.
We solved
we're just about
racism.
got there.
These two white saviors came to this podcast.
Once upon a time, people didn't like each other. They didn't know the reason why. Then Jonathan and Wayne and Gregory for the other got together and made them wonder why.
Riding on a dragon with swords of fire.
What?
Lancing racism through its heart.
Oh.
Warriors of the color.
You're my brother.
You're my brother.
Even though I'm not a brother, I'm still a brother to you, my brother.
My brother.
I slept with your mother.
Oh, God. What?
And she said I was like no other.
But she said you were hung like a brother in a stereotypical state of mind.
Let's all drop trowel and compare.
Not on camera, not go there.
Just metaphorically, and that's where
When you hear a zip, thump,
you'll know that I've thrown my punky to the floor.
my punky.
Honky Punky and Black Attack. Two big dicks coming back.
Honky Tonky and Black Attack coming to TV this fall.
Odd Punky and Black Attack.
Oh, God.
Tuesdays on Hulu. Right after the 15th version of Yellowstone and other shows that make white people feel reassured about their heritage.
Followed by the reboot of Mannix.
Oh, God.
Peggy, I've been beat up. I need some coffee. How hot was Peggy?
Yeah.
Peggy was very hot.
She was smoking.
And damaged.
Oh, yeah.
She was very, very damaged.
Yeah, well.
Hims. If ED is getting you down, you need Hims to help get your confidence and other things back up. Hims provides access to treatments that can help you stay hard and last longer, so you can be ready whenever the mood strikes.
Hims is changing men's healthcare by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. Just don't get too comfortable with your couch, we ask.
True. Now, Hims provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable tablets, Viagra, and Cialis, and they're generics for up to 95% less.
The process is 100% online, so there's no need for uncomfortable doctor visits, especially going directly to his house when you didn't tell him you were coming.
Just fill out an intake form on their site and a medical provider will determine the right treatment option. If prescribed, your medication ships directly to you for free confidentially.
No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care.
That's right. That's how it's going down if you want to get it up. With hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, Hims can help you find the ED option that works for you. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/whatif.
That's HIMS.com/whatif for your personalized ED treatment options. HIMS.com/whatif.
The featured products include compounded products which are not approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan. In this half hour so far, we've solved racism.
Yes.
But
what I came to do.
But that was the mission. So we're new to the podcast world. So we've been asking a lot of guests, especially those that have podcasts, and you have a podcast called The Smartest Man in the World.
That's right.
Now, how long have you been on the air?
16,000 years. No, 2010.
Wow.
Was when we went on. And then my wife sort of joined. I mean, it was always my wife's notion. But I did it by myself alive for a long time. And then when the plague happened, which was caused by evil Republicans, when the plague happened and we were trapped at home, she just sort of joined the show naturally because then I put her on mic, you know what I mean?
Right.
Up until then, she didn't really want to be on mic. And then all of a sudden, she's on mic. So, of course, you know what happens then when you put your wife on the show and she's intelligent and smart. Then a lot of the audience goes, wait a minute. We liked it when it was just you talking about guy stuff, but all of a sudden, women's voices are making my wiener withdraw into itself. Like a hermit crab seeking sanctuary inside an orange juice can. And so that happened. But anyway, no, I love doing it with her because she knows more than me and she's smarter than me. She always set the agenda for the show, by the way, for all the people who listened and then didn't like it when she joined. All the things I was saying were things that her and I had talked about.
But because it was just your face.
Exactly. If you put a white guy out in front, as you know, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, everybody goes, oh, a white guy. Well, they're always welcome. Come on in. And then when you don't, they're like, nobody sees the wizard. Not nobody, not know how. Can't you see the sign? What sign? Well, it was implied. So yeah, I've done it for 16 years and it's really fun. I don't know what we do. We talk about feminism history. Like this week, what we would talk about because it happened was, Roberta Flack. Roberta Flack just swirled off into the heavens. So like this week's episode, we're most certainly going to play Roberta Flack. The song that I would choose, and I think my wife would back me up on this, is everybody knows First Time Ever I Saw Your Face and Feel Like Making Love to You and Killing Me Softly, which she didn't write. That was written by a Jewish white girl. Oh. It was a folk song, and she heard her do it, and then she did her own version of it and added
That's the one.
Right? Roberta Flack's version. And then First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, she made in like late 60s. And then Clint Eastwood made a movie, the first great stalker movie, called Play Misty for Me with Jessica Walter.
And that's what blew that song up.
And that song, right, that's what blew the song up. And then by the mid-70s, when I was like a preteen, she was Roberta Flack in like 73, 74, just huge, winning Grammys all over the shop, like Stevie Wonder. Like that was the boom days. And she had this boss fro and shit. But of course, the truth is, like so many black artists, classically trained, jazz trained.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, oh, guess what? I can do pop. How about those apples? So Les McCann was one of her mentors. She's a great jazz artist. And he wrote a song called Compared to What? You know that song?
Yeah.
Rednecks rolling off of logs. You know that one.
Yes. Now, do you know that?
Trying to
gonna
keep
pretend
it
that I do.
real compared to what, right? That song. So Roberta Flack did a cover of it, and that's the one I would play because Les McCann was her mentor, and also it's just a great, great song. And everybody out there should hip themselves to that song.
Man, you are the embodiment of when I talk about improvisation or even just being an actor. The first rule, I think, that whether you're an actor or you're a stand-up comic or you're just a writer, you can't be no, you can be whatever you want, but to be good at this thing, to be successful, there's no such thing as an unintelligent good actor or an unintelligent good writer, because you have to know a lot about so many things.
I would add too, just your pop culture. You're so like, I'll see you reading an E magazine or like some magazine, People magazine. I'm like, why are you Oh, so you can know the references. So you're not talking about things like that no one's going to get.
You mean like the other guys in my improv group?
Yes, including myself.
With their 1974 2D references and shit.
It's like, hey, Mrs. Garrett.
Oh,
Yeah.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, wow, man.
Yeah.
No, our group, sometimes we get up there and someone will do like a reference that's from 1976. And you're like, do you realize that no one in this crowd is this age that remembers it? Like, we're the Antique Roadshow. We're up there, dusting off jokes from the 50s. But like, you have to kind of keep up, I think.
We have to keep up, and we have to read, and we have to sadly listen to a lot of that stuff that's on the radio just to know what's popular.
Yeah, I draw the line there. But yeah, no. Well, I mean, like, for instance, like we just had the Super Bowl, and before the Super Bowl, even never mind the Super Bowl, which, by the way, 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. And no, I know that no one ever wants to talk about this, and especially white people are really uncomfortable. It's not that right.
No,
it's
John,
not that.
Sorry.
Name all the Super Bowls where there were 2 black quarterbacks. Just name them. Okay, you can't. So that was significant. There was a black woman coach on one of the teams, as you recall, on the Chiefs, on the Eagles. Jalen Hurts has an all-black woman staff around him. His PR person, his manager, everybody that works in Jalen Hurts' organization is a black woman, which he went out and did on his own. They never talk about that because we're busy talking about betting and shit and how cool betting is for children and whatnot, which is like something that drives me crazy.
If you talk about that, then you go down the rabbit hole of, well, why is that a big deal?
Yeah, but because, and this is where I really will not hear pessimism in this country. I know everything's gone to shit in a shit basket or whatever, and we got a psychopath and all that jazz. Here's the good news. A black woman ran for president, you guys. Before that, a white woman ran for president. Okay, hello. There's a black woman on the Supreme Court. That didn't happen when I was 12. You guys, okay? That's what we call progress.
It is.
And when people get all huffy and go, well, I don't like the way the world is. Well, fuck you. The world was shittier before. How about that? It wasn't better before. It was shittier before. It's better now because the reason why there's this whole reaction is a black woman and a black man were in the White House.
And to your point, the world was shittier. That's why it blows my mind when some people latch on to the let's make America great again or whatever when was it? Let's codify this time period. When was this thing great?
Right.
So it's always been so even if things were shitty, it's always been on the rise. Well, thank goodness progress was always being made. But even 10 years ago, I wouldn't want to go back.
No.
I would never want to go back. I just want to keep going.
April, White History Month in 1982 was pretty good. I'm remembering now, just if I can see what.
Well, not just April, but let's go back to the elementary school. They were actually doing a White History Month in April pageant. Let's go back to the pageant.
Okay, the White History Month pageant in 1982, in April of 1982.
Yep.
The people who worked on George Washington's plantation were weeping and grateful to be given food and clothing occasionally. They didn't mind the beatings because they knew they were working for someone who had fought for liberty. And the tree of liberty is fed with the labor of people who shouldn't really have a voice in it.
Hey, hello, my name is Jeffrey. They let me talk.
Thank you, Jeffrey, for those fine words. We'll now move on to the bread tasting ceremony.
Yeah, see,
Wow.
that was quite a pageant.
That was
Quite a pageant. And shout out to Jeffrey. I wonder what Jeffrey's doing now.
I don't know. You. Oh, I did the time machine accidentally. Oh,
Well, which year was that?
we've gone to the future even from now.
Jeffrey would be how old now? 40
Ish. 40 something.
Oh, Jeffrey would be 40.
But that was if he was 0. He wasn't 0 in 82. So
No, but he'd be 42. Oh yeah, you're right. He'd
he'd be like
He'd be around 48 years old.
around 48. Do.
Jeffrey.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey. Welcome to the bank.
I love shopping at the bank. I'd like to make the deposit at the bank.
Oh, please do.
Great. Here you go, Jeffrey.
Thank you very much.
I'm handing you my money with no fear of anything bad happening.
See, you shouldn't. We've progressed. If this was back when I was 6, this would never have happened.
Excuse me, Jeffrey. It's me,
yes.
Mr. Riviello, your
Mr.
boss.
Riviello.
We just had a DEI order come in from the HQ, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to let everyone go here who's not one of us.
You mean manager?
That's right. All the non-manager types are going to be let go because we want people to feel comfortable.
Oh, but I was in the management training course.
Well, I'm afraid no one's in the management training course now.
Yes, we're sorry that the diversity, equestrian, and inclusion policies are no longer happening here. You'll have to take your horse as well.
Yes, your pony can't stay here anymore.
All right, I'll take Mr. Johnson outside. All right. Well, thank you so much for letting me work here.
Well, you're welcome. I'd like to send you your severance pay, but I'm forbidden to by government law. It was the doggy that got me, or I don't know how to pronounce it. DOGE.
It's okay. I'll just take my big black Johnson outside. This is my horse.
Punky.
He's doing okay. I mean, he was doing okay. And then,
Well, he was doing okay until right now.
Yeah.
It's so funny how we didn't go back in time. We was like a couple of weeks that we went back, or
we went back a couple of weeks. Yeah, the time machine is unreliable on podcast time machines. You don't never know how far back they're going to go.
I miss when time machines had a spiral.
Yeah.
They don't do that much anymore. Now they just kind of flake away. But
Yeah.
in the 60s, it was decidedly you had
yeah.
to go into a spiral.
And you had to
Come
open a
back up.
door and
Yeah.
step into a thing and shut
Right.
the door.
Well, why don't we use one of those machines right now, and let's just go a little bit into the future and visit Jeffrey.
All right.
All right.
Burn it all down! Burn it up!
Wow.
He worked at
Wow.
El Pollo Loco, and he was preparing a meal of crusted chicken.
I think you just completely undermined what Jeffrey was doing. I think you completely undermined what Jeffrey was doing.
And by the
for
way, when you
sake
say
of a
the future,
sponsor.
I think we were in March.
I think we've learned a thing or two on today's episode. I think we've learned that maybe we shouldn't see what's coming up. Maybe it'll keep us optimistic and happy.
Maybe the past is just the future at a different time.
Wow. Greg?
That was really heavy. That blew my mind, man. I feel like one of Matthew McConaughey's synapses. I've fired, but I don't know why. It's like a hot air balloon just going up in the air further and further, and you're like, boom, what? Hydrogen? I didn't think so. Pretzels? What?
Now that's a person that I would make president.
Yeah.
I would make Matthew McConaughey my president.
I think he made himself president.
I think you're right.
So you think that right now he thinks that he's the
Do you remember
president?
when he said he was going to run for office
Yeah.
and then
No.
he dropped out? Yeah, about 2 years
Texas.
ago, he decided he's going to run for office. Then he didn't. And then when he dropped out, he made this awesome video where he went, I'm not going to run for office. What did I learn? A lot. And I was like, I don't think you learned enough.
Yeah.
How can you ever hate a guy like that? I think that Matthew McConaughey is amazing.
There's green light, then there's a red light. What? Yeah, the simple concepts that come out. Well, you're talking about being an intelligent actor.
Yeah.
Not all actors, I don't think, are imbued with what we might call intelligence.
Right.
But he certainly has a worldview.
He has a worldview, and he can speak on that worldview
Can he just?
at length.
Yeah.
The other day, I saw The Tower. Dark Tower, the movie adaptation of The Dark Tower, and he played Randall Flagg. And it's interesting to see an actor that you know from, he has a body of work and he has a thing, and I think that he is a really good actor.
Yeah.
The man just won not just, but he won an Oscar for the Dallas Buyers Club, right?
Which is a very profound movie.
Great. But then he's playing this otherworldly bad guy.
Yeah.
So he dyed his hair dark. It's like, oh, I know. I know how to get in this character.
Right.
I'm a dye my hair dark. And then I will talk like this and treat everything as if it is alien to me. Everything. Everything. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
I was on your team, man. I'm rooting for you.
He was in a film called Tiptoes. I don't know if you're familiar with the trailer of Tiptoes, which
What's
is available.
Tiptoes?
Tiptoes is about Matthew McConaughey marries a woman, and he finds out that in her family are little people. And
I do
Gary
not believe you.
Oldman, what it says in the trailer, in the role of a lifetime, plays her father, who is a little person. And the drama.
Did they Oompa Loompa him down
Yes,
or whatever?
they Oompa Loompa him down.
It's a real 2003.
Yes, and the drama, the plot point is, it's showing you in the trailer, look how fun. But then he finds out that her family is little people, and now she's pregnant. Will they keep the little person baby? That's the plot of the movie.
The film attracted controversy for the casting of non-dwarf actor Gary Oldman as a dwarf.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
There's a million little actors, by the way. There's a million little people
But
actors.
the story sounds horrible. That the big drama is, she's pregnant. Will it be a little, like, who cares if it's a little,
Right.
like, why is that drama?
Because if it is, I'm going to stake it to a hill and let it to die, like they did in ancient Greece. Am I right, people?
To an anthill.
Yeah, an anthill.
Yeah,
to an anthill.
No, that's so awful.
The film's plot revolves around an average-sized man who struggles with revealing
An
to his pregnant...
average-sized man!
An average-sized man
My
who
new
reveals...
album, by the way. Greg Proops.
Who reveals to his pregnant fiancée that his entire family are dwarves as he worries about their unborn child who may be born with dwarfism. What the hell?
And the trailer,
who decided,
the trailer's ridiculous.
Who wrote it? Let's see.
J.K.
It was
Rowling.
written by...
I don't like dwarfs either.
It was written and directed by Matthew Bright. Did Matthew Bright go on to do very many things?
Yeah, he did another movie called People That Are Elongated.
He wrote and directed the exploitation film Freeway and its direct-to-video sequel in his last work.
Expressway.
Yeah. Some people shouldn't have access to creative things.
That was bad.
No.
Jonathan,
I didn't know that.
I thought I knew all of his movies, like Surfer Dude and all that.
You don't know that? I'm so shocked
Not
because of your
Tiptoes. I don't even hear of it. I mean, like, I don't even have it as a passing reference. Otherwise, now I'm going to be using it all the time.
Look up the trailer. We'll watch it before you leave because it's unbelievable.
Oh my God, that's just
Tiptoes.
unbelievable. What if they're born small? Well, then what? What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
Throw it away? Give it away?
What's the problem?
What the devil?
They made that into such a big thing.
Yeah.
And Gary Oldman.
Oh, you said big thing.
And I didn't even mean to.
Oh, but you smiled.
Hemlock.
Oh, Wayne just drank hemlock.
Oh, no.
Oh, we better go back a couple minutes before he drank the hemlock.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, don't drink that. Give me that bottle. Whoosh, crash.
Oh, man.
Now the hemlock can't be drunk. Drinking.
I smashed it on that school bus with all this. Oh, no.
Oh!
I'm going to go back before you said that.
Okay.
Do.
Go, give me that bottle. I smashed it on that school bus with all the.
Do.
Give me that bottle. I smashed it on the.
I threw myself in front of the school bus.
Oh, thank you,
no.
Greg.
It smashed off my chest, but fortunately I didn't inhale any of the hemlock.
And you didn't die because of the school bus.
No, I just barely missed the school bus, but now you can find me over at that taco stand just down the street here. I'm having a carnitas.
Oh.
Today's podcast brought to you by Carnitas and Hemlocks, two great tastes that one death together.
You know, there are some days when I want meat, but then there are other days when I want plant poison.
I wonder what I could do. Where can someone like me, who likes meat and likes plant poison, find both of them together?
Hello, senor. Welcome.
Oh, hola.
Hola. Yo quiero carne y death.
Uno taco de carnitas con hemlock para aquí.
Sí.
Por favor.
1, 2, 3 drops of hemlock.
Your accent was very good on the words drops of hemlock.
Yeah.
I just want folks to know that, just to be clear, I am related to Alec Baldwin.
Oh, okay.
His wife.
Oh, right.
Wife, Alec Baldwin's wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love how her accent took a boat across the Atlantic. I think that's so exciting.
She just doubled down, and she has tripled down on that.
Yeah, she has, man.
She's tripled down on that.
I'm not going to say names, but we know people that, like, that's not an unusual thing where someone just adapts an accent from a place they've never been to or been once.
I'll say names. I'll say names. Madonna.
Yeah, Madonna was
okay.
English for a long time.
Right.
There's other people too, but yeah.
When I worked in San Francisco in the 80s, I worked in a tchotchke shop, a t-shirt shop, and all the girls dressed like Susie and the Banshees, right? The white face and the black hair and everything. And there was a girl who worked at our store, and her name was Lydia. And I remember she said, "My name's Lydia." And I was like, "Uh-huh." And she's like, "Anyway, Greg, listen, we're going to go do that." And I was like, "Okay." And then years later, I see her, and she's from Santa Rosa. But in the 80s, my God, she was English.
Yeah.
That was so common in San Francisco. People would just adopt an accent, and you're like, what? No, I lived in England for years, and I pick up Englishisms. I use them all the time. Like I'll say, people bowl in or whatever, or, stuff like that. But I don't say, I say car park, but I don't say windscreen. When we lived there, I was starting to get a little bit of an accent, and my wife put the brakes on that shit right away. I was like dropping H's and shit, and she was like, "Greg, the one thing you have while you're here is that you're not one of them."
Right.
So maybe you don't want to sound. But Madonna moved there to London, and the next thing you know, Madonna's like, "Well, I bought a bit of art, you see.
Yes.
Let me just pop around the shop and see what they've got."
Once I almost there. I went through a phase when I was finding myself when I was a young brother growing up in my neighborhood of Tangelo Park in Orlando, Florida. And I used to watch a lot of BBC and PBS and British shows. And I found myself telling some of my classmates that that those cans are made of aluminium and advertisements.
You're taking your vitamins.
And your vitamin.
Making great progress, are you?
The fights that I would get into. Because I was just trying stuff out.
Right.
I was just trying stuff out. And
Studying
aluminium.
I was like, who's that?
Yeah.
Is that Jimmy's cousin?
Yeah.
Are you studying your maths?
Yeah, your maths.
Right, your maths.
Maths.
I was like, there's just one.
Yeah.
Okay, slow down, girl.
Yeah, put your skates on.
Now, what's that?
That just means get ready to go. They say put your skates on. My favorite are all the words they have for idiots. Bark, wet, prat, pranet. Bark. They call people a bark.
Because you're dumb as tree?
B-E-R-K, a bark.
B-E-R-K?
And when people are wet, I love that. That just means they're, dippy. Like, oh God, he's so wet. They have 1,000 words for calling people names that.
See, but those are cool.
A prat. Like a prat would be, no, Musk isn't a prat. He's way past that. But, someone like Jim Jordan is a prat. You know what I mean?
I like, yeah.
Is that where pratfall comes from?
I don't,
Because
probably.
only idiots
you're
would
right
do
there.
a pratfall.
And, like what we call breaking, like when you break character or whatever, when you laugh when you're not supposed to.
Lose the plot?
Yeah, they call that corpsing, because people who play dead bodies in TV shows start laughing. And so when you're laughing and you're a dead person, you're corpsing. So they call it corpsing, where we call it breaking.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that. And also, they don't say killing for comedy, storming. They don't kill, they storm.
Like an army storming the...
Right. And they don't do callbacks, they do back references.
Back ref.
Right. And then they don't have a resume, they have a CV, a curriculum vitae.
Wow.
Right, which you'll see in Shakespeare, CV.
Right.
Right.
That's when you go, okay, there are some times when I'm very, very impressed by the British.
Yeah, they do. I mean, I love their word play, and that's why I've stolen so much of it. And I call people pranets and stuff, and of course, no one has any notion of what I'm talking about whatsoever.
And they probably love us too. They probably they say punk ass bitch. I love to call my friends punk ass bitch, like the Americans.
And bloody's a great word.
That's the big difference between our comedy and theirs, right? Is even on Whose Line, I think that when it became the ABC show, that there was this switch to like the old guard, Josie Lawrence and God, I could throw a rock at some of the genius.
Clive Anderson.
No, who just passed away?
Poor Tony.
Tony
Slattery.
Tony Slattery. That dude, his brain.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Tony Slattery was amazing. So to listen to the references just being, and everyone reads versus when you are a pig farmer who is picking up his pig. You fall in mud, and you show up at the bank, and then we do it as 3 different styles. Then we go out, bloop doop 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 doop. Completely different type of comedy.
When we first started the show, there was a game called Authors, and we got up and did different authors. There's 4 people, and they would go buzz, 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 and you'd go down the line. And I remember John Sessions, who also sadly passed away. Tony did an airline hostess handbook. So he went, when you get on, you go there, the exits are there, right? So
of course.
That was his book. And when I auditioned for the show, I remember doing Kurt Vonnegut as a joke as my author, right? So when we did the show, I remember doing Earl Hamner, who wrote the Waltons, so that you could do all that, all the Walton jazz, which they knew the Waltons. And Clive actually made fun and went, "Oh, Earl Hamner, like he was some sort of lowbrow." It was like, "Hey, this is Americana, man. This is Depression era."
Yeah, but look at Clive. Clive,
he was so condescending.
Right, he absolutely would think that.
And John Sessions did Hemingway, and he goes, I remember it was about fishing or something, and he went, "Jack was fishing. His pants were tight. It felt good." And I've never forgotten that one. And then a comic named Paul, oh God, I can't remember his name. Paul something. He was in a theater company called the Hull Truck Company. And he did Ted Hughes, who was the poet laureate of England, right, at the time. Ted Hughes was married to Sylvia Plath, the famous poet who killed herself. And Ted Hughes, and it was about the Queen Mother. And he went, "Queen Mum, what was it? Pig, dead pig. Perfect in every way. Dead pig's bristle stuck in the Queen Mum's throat." That was his poem. And I remember falling on the ground laughing. Dead pig's bristle stuck in the Queen Mum's throat.
That would make me, but see, even talking about those scenes, and I feel like I read, that makes me want to go back and go, okay, you've got some work to do. Let's just break out the writers that I've skimmed over. Oh, man.
Well, so here's one that wasn't so erudite. Oh, I'm sorry. Johnny's about to tee something up here, but Stephen Fry was on the show a couple times. And Stephen Fry is one of the great wits in the world.
Absolutely.
So erudite, so witty. He writes books. He's an actor. He writes plays, blah, 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 blah. And I've met him, and he's marvelous. He's bloody marvelous. Anyway, I think it was worst thing to say when you meet the Queen or the Queen Mother. And we all, remember World's Worst?
Yeah.
I don't know if we did it much in the American one.
Yeah.
We did it, but you step off the step and you do the World's Worst, right? So world's worst thing to say to the Queen Mother, and Stephen Fry, in his erudite way, steps off with his tie on and goes, "Whop some skull on this, bitch." Whop some skull.
Whop.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. Whop some skull. Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
If we take your head, whop it down.
Whop some skull, man.
Give me
on this bitch.
BJ.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, it's a.
Yeah, it was a BJ reference.
Oh my!
Oh, dearie me.
My ears were assaulted.
That one I thought, oh my goodness.
Well, speaking of Who's Line, we like to do a thing on here that we call
Okay.
What If. So we ask people on social media to give us just random what ifs, and we riff on them like scenes of a hat, or if it turns into a scene or whatever. So a couple of these, we'll see here who we have. Shell Rendell says, "What if cats had opposable thumbs?"
Now I don't have to knock everything off the shelf. I can open the refrigerator door and drink the milk right from the carton.
Is the cat talking again? I thought the thumbs were his advantage. But
This is my inner monologue.
Oh,
Gotcha.
jeez.
Meow, meow. Who's going to St. Louis?
See? Oh,
All right.
here's one.
Okay. Oh, someone's at the door.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes? Oh, you shot me. I don't understand what this has to do with cats.
I'm a cat assassin. I have an opposing thumb so I can hold this gun.
Oh, you're a cat.
I'm a cat.
You all can talk too. That's what's creeping me out. I thought,
Oh my God, it's a catastrophe.
Oh, now we can move on. Oh.
meow.
Oh.
Oh, you shot. I didn't get to use my thumb. I have a thumb for 5 seconds of my existence and you killed me. All right, next one.
All right, cats. The name of this game is 5-card draw.
Oh, I can play this week.
Ding dong.
You know what? Let me just look out the little porthole.
Open up, meow. Open up.
Who's there? Who's at the door, honey?
It's a cat, baby.
What?
Yeah.
Meow, here's my hand. Guess what's up your ass?
What?
Oh.
Did you get my birthday present?
I'm a door-to-door, up-your-ass thumb cat delivery birthday service.
That's what would happen if cats had an opposable thumb. They deliver that
man.
door to door up your bum.
Maybe America was better before.
Bob Corin writes, what if two rights make a wrong?
Boop. You know why I pulled you over?
No, officer.
You just made 2 rights.
Oh. So I'm wrong.
You're also going in the opposite direction because you made 2 rights. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You understand. You've made a circle.
Oh, Dad!
Wait, I'm back again.
Ding dong. Meow. Left thumb, right thumb. This feels so wrong.
Oh,
That's 1 left and 1 right.
it's my birthday again. Next one.
Next one. Joshua Begley. What if pickleball was called Dill Whacker?
What's it called?
Dill Whacker.
Hey, guys, you ready to play?
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
sure.
All right. Zip. Ow.
Oh.
Ow! Ow!
Ow.
Oh!
Ow.
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 Ow. Score.
Oh.
Wait a minute, I hit myself in the balls.
Oh, well, that's what we've been doing the whole time.
Oh, I've been playing Gherk and Jerker the whole time.
That's the German variant. What if chickens always wore perfectly fitted suits? I mean, perfectly. That's from Brian Howard.
Okay.
Okay.
Knock, knock, knock.
Oh. I'll take 2. Honey, there's a very well-dressed chicken at the door.
Oh, he's handsome.
Yes.
I think you'll find I'm the best dressed cock on my block.
Oh, please tell us about your Lord and Savior.
Well, you'll find that he's, well, mostly dill whacking.
Scene.
What if true consciousness, this is from Scott Halleck, what if true consciousness only worked when you sniff fabric softener?
Okay. Honey, I'm about to do some laundry.
Yeah.
Do you have one of those little dryer sheets?
Yeah, sure, here.
Thank you. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I'm sorry, baby.
Don't look at me.
No, I won't.
Oh, wait a minute. I've just reached a pink and perfect world where I have the realization that everything is everything and that we're all one. Thank you for that fabric softener sheet.
Oh, it's just bounce.
Brett Soul, what if dolphins were racist?
Man overboard! Man overboard! Oh, thank God! Dolphins! I've always read that they save people.
No.
Help me!
No, man. Later.
We don't do DEI down here, bitch. Save yourself, bitch.
I don't know. I think right before I drown, I'd be very impressed that the dolphin spoke to me, and then I would take it really to heart that a dolphin actually called me bitch. That would hurt so much.
It's in dolphin talk, so.
Yeah, bitch is the only word that they can pronounce. With
Flipper with a hard R. So flipper.
Yeah, well, my flipper. Isn't that what they said Dionysus, the Greek god, was
A racist? Dionysus was, he threw parties. He ate
and everyone
drank,
wasn't invited.
Drank to excess, but not everyone was invited. That is the scene that I want to see. Is the dude is like,
I am Bacchus.
Hey, play some club music. Hey man, this is my boy Dionysus.
Hey,
he throws
what's up?
the bomb party.
Man, you're the god of wine and song and bacchanalia.
Yeah, hey man.
Thanks, man. I'm afraid you're going to have to leave.
Oh, what, me?
What?
You're going to have to leave.
How come?
For 2 reasons. 1, I'm racist. And 2, I don't know anything about Greek mythology to add to this bit.
And scene. Okay. All right. That's great.
I really don't. I could pick Greek mythology or marching band to study in high school, and I went full marching band. I did not do any Greek. I don't know any of the stories. I don't.
Play that music again, please.
No.
Hey, man. Hey, look. Hey, it's the marching band doing formations.
Look, it's me, a one-man formation. Here I am.
Hey, do you mind if I bring my glockenspiel in?
That'd be great. I love glockenspiels. What are you bringing, Jimmy?
Can I bring my tuba?
Sure you can. 1 tuba, 1 glockenspiel, and 1... the music stopped. Oh,
Oh, it's a xylophone.
Hey!
Hey, my clarinet's black. Can I bring that?
Oh.
No.
This is like Dionysus party. It's bullshit.
All over again. Thank you, everyone, for sending us these.
Yes. Next time, send some good ones, you fucks.
You can learn Greek mythology easy.
Greg Proops, before we leave you and let
Okay.
you to your go, because you are a busy man, tell everyone where we can see you. You're on the road.
I'm on the road with Who's Live Anyway, which John plays with us sometimes. And we have an extended family. Gary Anthony Williams is our DEI hire for the month. And Dave Foley sits in with us. And let's see who we got. Ryan Stiles, Jeff Davis, Joel Murray, me, and Laura Hall from Whose Line Is It Anyway? She finally joined the group full time because our Bob Durkach finally retired after 25 years.
All right, on.
And so Bob's back in Vancouver. He'll do the gigs with us in Canada. And if you go to whoslive.com, we're doing 106 dates this year.
Wow.
That's amazing.
We've already done about 15 or whatever, so 90-something dates more. So yes, we're everywhere. And then I'm in a show called, I have a podcast called Smartest Man in the World. You can go to gregproops.com and find it there. I also have a new album out called Purple Shasta Raccoon. Yes, it's called Purple Shasta Raccoon. It's a weed joke. Because the joke is, now you go to buy a weed and like it's all pre-rolled and there's hash and it's infused and all that. But when I was growing up in the 70s, we rolled joints on Peter Frampton Comes Alive, right? And no matter how much you clean the weed, there'd be a seed in it. So you'd go like, man, I was going to go see Aerosmith the other day, and then bang! The joint would explode and leave you with a black face like you were from a cartoon from the 40s.
Yeah.
From a racist
Yeah, so
Warner
it's like,
Brothers
the
cartoon.
weed they have now is called Purple Shasta Raccoon, right? And so that album's out. You can go to gregproops.com. And I improvised that album too. Speaking of improv, I improvised my last 3 stand-up albums.
Wow.
I got on stage with stuff in mind, and I just made it up. And then people go, did you really make it up? Yeah, I really made it up. And then because I have 4 or 5 shows to do it over, you can kind of do it again and again and get it to where it wants to be. But I did not go to clubs and work out all the jokes beforehand. I literally made it up every time because I'm very comfortable on stage, and I like to do it that way. And people go, oh my God, you know. I mean, someone put out an album years ago and they're like, they improvised the album. And I'm like, fuck. I know a bunch of comics who improvise the whole thing every night. But anyway, so it's called Purple Shasta Raccoon, and that's on gregproops.com as well. And I'm trying to think of anything else that I got. Sometimes I'm in Nightmare Before Christmas, and sometimes we play at the Hollywood Bowl. I don't know if we're doing it this year, but like Danny Elfman, I was in the movie like when I was a child.
I didn't know that you did that.
Yeah, we do it live, and Danny Elfman sings Chuck Skellington, and poor Ken Page, who was Oogie Boogie, passed
God
away
bless
this year.
Ken. Yeah.
And but we did it last year in Mexico on Halloween in Monterey and the town square at this giant arts festival, and then we did it in London at Wembley Arena in December. But sometimes we do it at the Hollywood Bowl on Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's coming up, but look, you can look out for that one. It's the thing I love doing the most. Don't you love Who's Live? Of course I love Who's Live. But I sing with an orchestra, and I sing like a professional singer. I get paid to sing in a show with the violas behind me. And our conductor's named John Mauceri, and John Mauceri was Leonard Bernstein's protege, right? Wow. So he'll tell stories, and John talks like this because he's a conductor and a composer. And he'll say, the wonderful thing about Lenny was he had such a marvelous sense of humor.
In one podcast, we've gone from fixing racism to time travel to talking about the Nightmare Before Christmas and very brilliant composers. This is what this whole show is about, man. Greg Proops, you are a friggin' genius.
Love you guys.
Thank you. We love you. Everybody, big round of applause for Greg Proops. I'm Wayne.
I'm Jonathan.
That's Branson. And you will see us next time on What If?
That was a Headgum podcast.